You're watching the 2023-24 SCAC Men's and Women's Swimming and Diving Media Days. Today, we're taking a look into the Trinity University Men's and Women's Swimming and Diving programs. Tigers, of course, will be led once again as they head into the season under the guidance of head coach Cathleen Pruden, along with the leadership from seniors Emma Hagan and Michael Kohl. Coach, Emma, Michael, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Coach, we'll get underway with you heading now into your third season as the head coach of the Tiger swimming programs there in San Antonio. What have you learned over the course of your two very successful opening years as the head coach there? How have you kind of started to develop and put your fingerprints on this program? And, you know, how excited are you to be back in the pool and with all your student athletes once again?
Oh, we're really excited. We're at the end of week 4 here of training, or the middle of week 4, I guess, and really feel like we're starting to find our groove and get to know our newcomers and see where our returners are at this point. So I'm super excited to get a chance to race soon and really get the season underway. I think the beauty of being in year 3 is now I can really start to see that everything we're doing, from everywhere from a logistical perspective to a training perspective, is stuff that we're able to do better now than we did our first year, and certainly better than last year as well. And that's exciting, just to have a little bit more confidence in everything that we do on my end from the coaching's perspective. Now that we've been around the block twice, as we like to say here, we talk a lot about going a full circle. My first full circle was a little bit COVID influenced. And so now to really feel like in year 3, there is, you know, half of the team has swum for me at some point in time and understands a little bit of what I'm looking for and how I like to do things. And we're all on the same page in a way that I think is going to set us up for hopefully some continued success and continuing the trajectory that we've found in the last 2 years.
Emma, you've been a huge part of this program and now heading into your senior season as one of the key leaders within this group. You understand this is the start of what hopes to be a long season and a climb up that mountain. You know, where's your thought process here heading into your final senior season? How excited are you for the start of the year and just knowing that there is a long road ahead? You know, just take me through your thought process here heading into this your senior year.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like I'm trying to take it week by week and just really enjoy my last season as a Tiger. I think it's just really cool to see the new freshmen and train with them. It's been super fun getting to know them just as swimmers and as people. And I'm really excited to see how this season goes and how we can improve upon what we did last season. Michael,
similar to Emma, so much success for you in the pool, really going back to your freshman season. I remember in that COVID meet where we were all just happy to be back competing once again. You showed up your first year with the Friar Tuck haircut and really was an outstanding swimmer from the start. And I know that hasn't changed, but over the course of your career, how have you kind of seen your role within this group change, maybe more specifically outside of the pool, as you've grown into your space there at Trinity and now one of the senior leaders heading into this season?
Yeah, I think when I started out at Trinity, you know, I didn't really know what was going on. You know, it was COVID, obviously, so the rules were really different. And I think the main thing was I just wanted to learn from the seniors and the juniors of that year and see what they did, and then just try to do my best in the pool. And academically, I'm a geoscience major, so there weren't anybody else on the team who was a geoscience major, but I think that they could still help me through the general flow of things in school. And now I feel like I'm kind of that now, and I've improved a lot academically throughout the years and in the pool as well. So I'm excited to just keep that going for this year.
Coach, you talked about the excitement coming into the year and some of the things you've learned over the course of these first couple of seasons, and part of, you know, continuing to put your fingerprints on these teams. You welcome in really a brand new staff as Mark Long comes down, hired as an assistant coach coming down from Kenyon, which has obviously had such a great swimming and diving program. You welcome back one of your own, and Mabel Fowler, a decorated swimmer who returns to campus there. And then Tommy Law comes across the street and taking over that diving program. Just sort of speak to the excitement of these new assistant coaches you've brought in. How are you working to get them acclimated, and what have they brought just in terms of energy and a jolt into these programs early on?
Yeah, definitely. It's a lot of change. But I think everybody brings something that's going to benefit us ultimately. Like you mentioned, Mabel having swum here, her 5th year was my first year here. So I think we both went through some of those growing pains together, but it is nice that she's got some experiences to rely on and kind of bring some institutional memory into what we're doing. and just can really, really relate to the Trinity experience, just student day-to-day experience that our swimmers and divers have, which is just a huge benefit in recruiting and in the day-to-day conversations with our athletes, because she's lived this experience and lived their challenges. Mark has some coaching experience and some swimming experience, both at a super high level, and I think can offer us some, insights into how the best of the best are doing things in Division III. And we're seeing, some of that. He's got some ideas that are different than some of the things we've done before, but they're great opportunities for us to try something new and to see if a different thing works for us here and can fit into what we're doing at Trinity. And Tommy has also absolutely hit the ground running. We're a little bit bigger on the diving side than we were last year, so that's exciting that he's got a group of athletes to work with, really spanning from brand new to some veteran diving talent, and just to get to see him engage with those athletes and see how he approaches training in his own ways has been neat so far.
Emma, you come into this your senior year having so much success in the pool. As I mentioned, 5 individual SCAC titles, especially last year, exploding as a junior. I think coming away with 3 individual titles that year, and you've made multiple national swimming championships as well. You talk about going week to week. What did this off season look like, kind of from a week to week basis, as you continue to improve and get better and try and, just as every little second, half a second, all those make such a big difference. Where have you really grown and tried to expand to, what you can do in the pool over the off season heading into this year?
Yeah, so I joined my club team this summer again, which is kind of interesting because most of the kids were like 14, 15-year-olds. So it was kind of an interesting age gap, but my brother was there, so I thought it was fun. But the training is super fun there. I really enjoy like the long course training, especially. I feel like that helps me grow a lot in my endurance in the off season. I also trained a lot of fly this off season, which has been fun because, as you know, I'm basically just a freestyler, but the fly's been fun to like get stronger at, and also kind of correlates with my freestyle. So I really enjoyed the off season. I'm excited to see how it turns out during the season.
Michael, no different than Emma, a very decorated swimmer in your own right, 3-time SCAC swimmer of the year. What is next for you? Where have you tried to kind of grow? What are some of maybe the goals that you have heading into this year, where you feel like there is room for growth and room for improvement, despite all the success that you've already had in your previous 3 years there at Trinity?
Yeah, I've been really happy with how the past few years have gone. I think I've improved a lot more than I initially expected. But this year, honestly, the one thing that's left is I want to perform really well at NCAAs. We've had a couple subpar NCAAs, in my opinion, the past couple of years. So I think that, third time's the charm. We can do it this year. We can take what we've learned the past 2 years and apply it to this year's NCAAs, where I hope that all of us can swim really well on the national scene.
Coach, Michael talks about that hope to getting back to the NCAA championships, and certainly with that being something that this team is striving for, both on the men's and women's side, it makes for a long season. We're at kind of the start, as I talked about, and hoping to swim well into March. As a head coach, dealing with kind of an individual sport with team aspects and dealing with the ebbs and flows of the seasons and kind of the different iterations that you work through as a head coach, how do you handle that with your student athletes, especially knowing that it's a little different than maybe a team sport where you're kind of putting together a team game plan? Maybe it's a bunch of different individual game plans that might be a little different. How do you try to handle that and work with those ebbs and flows with your athletes throughout the course of the year?
Yeah, absolutely. We talk a lot about, the individual element being a blessing at times, that we can have 45 athletes to a certain extent on 45 different schedules. They don't need to be here to catch a pass from somebody else. So that's kind of the beauty of our day-to-day schedule, that we can adjust and adapt to meet different people's needs. And kind of just do that week to week as well. I know Emma was talking about the week to week element of things. We've got some ways where we try to break it up. This will be our last week outside swimming long course, which comes with its own challenges, but I think makes the next couple of weeks that much more fun. We have a refreshing change of scenery. People feel good about getting inside and swimming yards. So that's sort of our next transition moment. And then before you know it, our training is getting a little bit more event specific as we head into mid-season, and then we get that kind of chance to reset before the second semester really starts. And then there's, that next pre-conference phase. And so we have enough moments where things get to feel a little bit different. And we just try to mix some fun into it along the way. This guy was chucking tennis balls across the long course pool yesterday, trying to score 100 points in a basket. You know, it probably didn't make him a better swimmer, but it made everybody have a little bit of fun and just keep things refreshing and give them a chance to be together as a team and remember that some of these things are team efforts, and you've got to succeed individually to help contribute to those team efforts too.
And wrapping up things with the athletes for both Emma and Michael, as you've had conversations with some of the other senior leaders and leaders within this team and some of the captains about some of the goals for this 2023-24 season, what have those conversations looked like? What are some of those goals, and what do you think will be key in order for this group to come together this season and try and accomplish those?
Yeah, so I feel like we've had a lot of different goals. Like academically, we're looking to improve our GPA a little bit more from last semester. I feel like every semester we try to get a little bit better in the like academic mindset of that. We're also trying to make sure that everybody gets a like season best time at conference this year, because last year was kind of iffy, like 50-50 and if people got conference or season best. And then nationally, we really want to have more people scoring individually. Last year we had Neely, which was awesome. Like she's a great example of like what we know we can all do at some point. And so I think like we want a few more girls to score individually, and then have a couple of relays also be able to final, because we had one last year that got 16th, and then the year before we had the 4 for relay. So we think we could probably get a couple more this next season.
So I think that it's pretty similar to Emma. I mean, academically, I feel like our team in school is usually pretty academically inclined. So I'm excited to see what we can do in the classroom. And obviously as a senior, I just want to go out my best and just have fun with it. But also, you know, for conference, you know, we want to win that. Colorado College is looking really good this year, but I think we're also looking better than we ever have as well. So I'm really excited to see what we can do there at conference. And besides that, I think just NCAAs, we want to get as many guys as we can there. We want to be able to get all the relays invited, because I think that's definitely something that's well within the realm of possibility this year. Seeing the 8 free relay get there would be really, really fun, in my opinion. And also with what Emma said, we want a lot of guys to be scoring individually at NCAAs, because we know that we're capable of doing it. We just want to be at our best at NCAAs. We also, like the girls team, got some honorable mention, like B finals in the relays, but we know we can make some A finals. So, and when we made the A final a couple years ago, that was like the most fun thing ever. So if we can do that a couple more times before our class leaves, that'd be awesome.
And Coach, finally wrapping up with you, as you've kind of taken some inventory heading into this season and had discussions with your coaching staff. You know, these 6 seasons are successful if what plays out in the pool. What are you looking for from your swimmers and divers this season that, you know, gives you confidence that you're continuing to push these programs in the right direction as you move forward?
Yeah, we're talking really more about like day-to-day success, smaller process goals than we are jumping the whole way to the big picture at the end of the season. I know these guys kind of shared some of their bigger picture team goals, but they've got goals for what they want to accomplish at Tiger Invite. They've got goals for what it looks like to be successful in the weight room day to day, and to see improvements in, you know, how much you can deadlift. Like that's a sign that you're getting better. And then it's our job to help them apply some of that strength to the pool. But there's, you know, a whole list of goals like that and things that we've kind of identified to try to encourage just improvement day to day. We talk a lot about contributions, and contributions certainly look like cheering each other on in practice and supporting each other and pushing each other there. But there's plenty of other things folks are doing outside of the pool that are hopefully contributing to the team's success. And I think if everybody's striving to give as many contributions as they can day to day all around campus, they're going to keep pushing this team to be better and as successful as we're capable of being come February and March.
University men's and women's swimming and diving programs. Again, the Tigers will be led as they head into the season once again under the guidance of head coach Kathleen Pruden, along with the leadership from seniors Emma Hagan and Michael Kohl. Coach, Michael, Emma, thanks so much for joining us today, and best of luck as you head into the season.
Thank you.
Thanks, Russell.